How shocking will it be if you hear that an astounding phenomenon has taken over the solar system closer to our own than you can raise your eyebrows? Indeed, it's not possible to keep your calm in such a situation. What is it? Stay tuned and find out. Astronomers predict that NASA's new James Webb Space Telescope can detect the evidence of artificial light on ProximaB. Whew! That's something we've all been waiting to hear, right? Evidence of light means evidence of life. So will we be witnessing the second Earth? Stay with us till the end of this video because what we are going to show you will certainly blow your mind. The study about the prediction was done by a team that included the controversial astronomer of Harvard, Avi Loeb. He suggested that a configured optical telescope spotted the evidence of LED lights on the exoplanet which is orbiting around Proxima Centauri b, which is at a distance of 4.2 light-years from Earth and is the sole target of the James Webb Space Telescope. Now you must be eager to hear some facts about Proxima b, aren't you? Proxima b was discovered in the year 2016. Since then, it has been thought to be a rocky terrestrial planet whose size is slightly greater than that of our planet, Earth, and has 12% of the mass of the Sun. It travels just 5% of the distance that Earth orbits the Sun, 7.2 kilometers in just 11.2 days. Some scientists even predicted that this planet could contain liquid water. Since Proxima b rotates very closely to its very small red dwarf star, it's tidally locked. As a result, it experiences the dark side throughout. 100% would imply that the planet's night side and day side are both equally bright, which is likewise not conceivable. Scientist Avi Loeb also suggests there might exist some civilizations that deploy powerful mirrors. Those civilizations might also require very bright LED lights to illuminate their whole city. Not only that, but he also suggested that artificial lights can be detected in the following two ways. The first is installing a near-infrared instrument on the James Webb Telescope, and the second is detecting signs of LED light waves in the planet and its host star. Using the camera of the James Webb Space Telescope, we can also find the presence of extraterrestrial technology in another world. For instance, with a vast constellation of satellites, we would be able to see, for instance, how the light of a far-off world wanes. On the flip side, a civilization emerging somewhere can be easily identified by the artifacts that they had left behind in the world it chose to explore. Also, it is considered that the putative civilization on Proxima b uses a sort of light similar to Earth-based LEDs. Some years after that, Proxima b has been sending out some peculiar signals just like artificial lights which left the most brilliant minds in the space community puzzled. But what exactly are they? Do you think that there can be any possibility of finding traces of life on this planet? Can we have an actual civilization like what the scientists have claimed? Now there can be a possibility. It all happened in 2020. Our nearest neighbor star, BLC-1, was the source of a detected signal. Currently, scientists are analyzing the sound as not merely what we call an echo, which is similar to the civilizations of Earth, but much more than that. The radiance from the dark side of our planet is an indicator that someone from space inhabits that particular space. Like, for instance, city lights from our planet are emitted into space. Researchers also conducted a virtual alien light search on the James Webb Space Telescope, but what they found wasn't clear enough. That's because the telescope wasn't functioning properly. Throwing some light on this technical difficulty with today's telescopes is that they lack the power to detect light in other solar systems. However, with the help of several scientists, the previous telescopes which have been conceptualized are being recognized for their capabilities that can provide us with accurate results. The James Webb Telescope was discovered to give a more accurate conclusion to the recent research on Proxima Centauri b, detecting artificial lights and the likelihood of technosignatures at Alpha Centauri. But how substantial is it with respect to the cosmic scale? Only 0.001% of the reflected stellar illumination is represented by artificial lighting on Earth. In other words, a James Webb Telescope might not be able to fully detect an entire civilization on Proxima b that is lit up just like our planet. Those lights need to be 500 times brighter. That matter is conceivable, as said earlier in this video, about the orbit of Proxima b, about its closeness to the star. Do you think that the tidally locked planet whose one side faces the star and the other side faces the eternal night will need to concentrate more on increasing its lighting system? Also, it must utilize more powerful orbital mirrors by reflecting the sunlight in its darker side, which will help our telescope to view precisely. Let's hope to learn many more things about this planet with a more advanced development of the James Webb Telescope. Nevertheless, the information we have acquired is that the planet is a habitable zone and has a mass that is similar to that of Earth. It also circles the closest star. Recent research also mentions Whoo, which is the Large Optical UV Surveyor. A multi-wavelength space-based observatory might launch in the earliest 2035 to maintain a technological society on a tidally locked planet which a perpetual night-side world needs artificial lighting to support a technological culture, as said by the author. Then what is it that we have learned so far? The James Webb Telescope could identify artificial light with an accuracy of 85% if ProximaB's light-side illumination exceeds 5% of the natural day-side illumination. It's a matter of direct proportions. If the illumination of ProximaB's night side increases, it will increase 5% of the natural illumination of the night side. Similarly, if artificial light reaches 90%, the telescope's detection will subsequently reach 90%. Now you might wonder about the remaining 5%, but that wouldn't matter to you. It's just a small percentage. Guess what? You're probably correct. The Sun is 20 times brighter than Proxima Centauri. Light from the star is just feeble when compared to it, isn't it? Though it's just a theory, let's not lose hope. We have the modern technologies of Whoo and HabX. According to studies, additional telescopes like Whoo, which is a large optical UV infrared surveyor, might prove to be better than James Webb's telescope and can be successful in seeing extraterrestrial civilization. Thomas Beatty from the Department of Astronomy, University of Tucson, published his findings a few days later after the discovery of artificial lights. He was successful in finding out the media that could detect the light of any planet circulating the star, which is at a distance of 30 parsecs. Do you remember the part where we mentioned the future discovery of a multi-wavelength space-based observatory that is yet to be discovered in 2035? But there are a lot of things to be done before that. NASA employees have to find out replicas of the Whoo and HabX observatories on several star systems that contain potential Earth-like planets circling other the Class G and Class M type stars, as well as known planets like the ProximaB. The proportions of the planet's surface that was occupied by cities were also calculated by the researchers. If the night side of ProximaB gets brighter, then there are more chances of urbanization. The sort of artificial lighting that was demonstrated for research mimics high-pressure sodium light that is generally used in streetlights, which are common on Earth. It also has a spectrum that is distinguishable from starlight. So the variables are the distance of this planet from our Earth. For at least 100 hours, the virtual scopes have been viewing planets to collect enough light through the instrument to discern the target. Only 0.05% of our Earth is urbanized. According to the telescopes, if they are coming from Proxima Centauri, they wouldn't be able to locate us. However, if our urbanization increases to 100%, chances are that it would be possible to see a far-off society. What is this 100% urbanization? Well, it's called the Ecumenopolis. It is referred to as a world city, encompassing either an entire planet or moon. Interesting, isn't it? Does it sound like real science fiction? You might be thinking about the Coruscant, which appeared in the fictional Star World universe. However, it is more likely than not that a highly developed society might enclose both their globe and an endless metropolitan landscape. How obvious is that world then? Have you thought about this? If it's a yes, please let us know about your views and opinions on this topic. We'd love to hear them. Also, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask us. That's it, guys. We're at the end of our video, and we're sure you loved it. If you're new to this channel, don't forget to like, share, subscribe to our channel for more interesting information. Also, don't forget to check out previous videos and hit the bell icon to always stay on your feet with space updates.